Big cities, you know what it's like to be stuck in peak hour traffic, or to waste your lunchtime standing in a queue, or to be sardined into a bus. And have you tried to catch a taxi lately? All those people trying to do things and get places. It's miserable, isn't it? Well, consider these the good times. In the next 40 years, Australia's population could reach as high as 40 million. Just try finding a parking spot then. In a changing world, Camden, New South Wales, remains very much old Australia. Proud of its history and defensive about its future.
Hello.
None more so than Kate McCulloch.
I'm just around town today asking people about the population explosion in Camden.
She's the One Nation candidate for the federal seat of Macarthur.
Does it concern you for your children, like what's happening?
We don't need any more different cultures to become advanced in Australia. We should be thriving on the Australian culture.
Kevin Rudd wants 35 million people. Kate thinks we've got enough.
60% of our growth rate is coming through immigration from overseas. And so if we're not building our own culture, how can we keep going as Australia?
Robin, how you going today?
I'm good, thanks.
Anti-population or anti-immigration, whatever. The polls say she's on a winner.
Camden, are you for it or against it?
Definitely against it, you know.
Do you think that when 70% of Australians say we don't want greater numbers, do you think they're actually saying we don't want people from other cultures?
Of course they are. Yes, I do. Yeah, I think they are.
Whether or not you want it, you only have to live in a major city to see it's coming. We're growing at record speed, twice the world average, in fact. If those numbers continue by 2050, Sydney will increase by 2.5 million, going up and growing out. In Melbourne, it's a similar story of spread, but with a fondness for skyscrapers, the skyline will change dramatically. And in mineral-rich WA, Perth is set to explode, doubling in just a few decades.
Great problems with climate change.
None more so than those in Sydney's Ku-ring-gai Shire.
And actually I got quite angry.
Tonight, millionaire businessman Dick Smith is addressing a protest meeting against houses being bulldozed for high-rise apartments.
I was born and bred in Ku-ring-gai. I'm a free-range kid from Dudley Avenue. Free-range kids, we live in a house with a backyard. Battery kids in high-rise.
It's a genteel and doubtless futile protest. The bulldozers will be at work again tomorrow.
What you'll find is most Australians will be living in high-rise. The crime rate will go up, the health will go down, all of those problems caused by too many people. It's so stupid.
The point that you're at pains to make is even in the most overcrowded countries on earth, the rich do okay.
Absolutely.
Dick Smith made his fortune out of the future. But now his focus is on the planet rather than the profits. You were a marketer in a sense, and you made your money from very clever marketing in a whole lot of areas. And marketers say it's a no-brainer. The more people, the bigger the market.
Oh, definitely. Now, look, for business, I can tell you, for business people like myself, Rupert Murdoch, people like that, growing our population is better for us. We make more and more money. But I believe for just about everyone else, it's downhill from now on.
But on current trends, Australia's new settlers, just like the rest of us, prefer to live in the existing population centres. Around 300,000 will move to our major cities this year. And they are not boat people. A huge number of them are applying to be here through the internet.
Well, they could, but we don't want them to because we don't want any more population. Australia is full enough.
Back in Camden, Kate McCulloch is opposing population growth on the grounds of immigration.
It's just making it so hard for everyday Australians.
And you get the feeling we'll be hearing a lot more of her argument.
Kids have got no yards to play in.
One way or another, most Australians don't want a population explosion,
And it's people like you and your family that have built their whole life.
but whether they agree with one nation remains to be seen. Are you prepared to be called the next Pauline Hanson? Because that's what's going to happen, isn't it?
No, I'm not. I'm nothing like Pauline Hanson. Pauline Hanson was great at the time, probably a little bit early. That's probably what happened, but she wasn't fairly treated.
Do you think you'll be fairly treated?
Probably not. I can accept that. I said, but at least I'm on.